Researchers at the American Automobile Association once ran a test that should have made the evening news. They took identical engines, fed some of them certified detergent gasoline, and the rest the ordinary discount stuff, then measured what built up on the intake valves. The engines run on the cheaper fuel had 19 times more gunk caked onto them. Same miles, same driving. The only thing that changed was the logo on the pump. I've spent 22 years with my hands inside engines, and I'll tell you something the service counter never will. The valves don't lie. There is an actual certification that separates clean-burning fuel from the rest, and almost nobody standing at that pump has ever heard the words out loud. It's called Top Tier. By the time we reach number 1, I'm going to name one of the busiest fuel stops in the entire country, the place you pull into on every long road trip without thinking twice, and show you why its gasoline never earned the badge. Get this right, and you buy yourself a smoother idle, a cleaner throttle, and years of carbon you simply never have to pay a shop to scrape back out. No additives, no flush, just a different choice at a pump you already drive past. So let me explain what this certification actually is, because once you understand it, you'll never look at a gas station sign the same way again. Back in 2004, a group of automakers got tired of watching their engines gum up on fuel that technically passed federal rules, but barely cleared the bar. Toyota, Honda, BMW, General Motors, they wrote their own standard. To carry the top-tier license, a fuel has to contain 2 to 3 times the detergent the federal minimum requires, and it's banned from using the cheap metallic additives that quietly poison your catalytic converter. Here's the honest part. Most of these videos skip. A brand that isn't on the top tier list isn't automatically poison. A few of them add solid detergents on their own and simply won't pay the licensing fee. The problem is, you have no way to verify any of that from the driver's seat, and the certified brands take every bit of that guessing away. What happens without those detergents is slow and invisible. Carbon settles onto your intake valves and injector tips a little more with every tank, until the engine that used to start clean now idles rough, hesitates off the line, and quietly burns more fuel than it should. By the time you feel it, a walnut blast intake cleaning at a shop can run you $640 or more. We'll start at 11 and work our way down to the one that matters most. Number 11, Sam's Club. This one catches people who think they're being smart with their money. If you buy fuel at a warehouse club, the brand on the pump matters far more than the price on the sign, and the two big clubs are not the same. Costco carries the top tier license, certified to that higher detergent standard at every pump and in every grade. Sam's Club is not on that list. Same kind of membership card, same kind of shopper topping off on the way out of the lot, but only one of them has actually put its gasoline through the certification. Picture 2 drivers, both in a 2021 RAV4, both rolling past 90,000 miles. The one filling up at the certified club pump has measurably cleaner valves than the one who didn't, and neither of them paid an extra cent for it. If you've already got a Costco card, that fuel qualifies. You're done. Number 10, Murphy USA. You've seen these, the little kiosks tucked into the corner of a big box parking lot, almost always a few cents under everyone around them. Murphy USA is not a licensed top-tier brand. That doesn't make the fuel harmful on its own, but it does mean the detergent package isn't verified to the higher standard, and there's no way for you to check it while you're standing there pumping. In 22 years, I've seen the pattern hold over and over. Engines fed a steady diet of bargain fuel that only meets the federal floor leave more varnish on the valves over 100,000 miles than the certified fuel engines do. Those few cents a gallon are real savings. The deposits you trade for them are real too. Number 9, Speedway. Let me put this one back on you for a second. When was the last time you actually checked whether the station you fill up at most certifies its fuel? Be honest. Drop a comment below, because most people have never once thought to ask. Speedway is a name you've passed 1,000 times, and it isn't on the top tier list. If you've been a regular there for years, that's thousands of gallons that never carried the certification, and you never had a single reason to question it until right now. Number 8, Circle K. A parcel delivery driver outside Columbus brought me a 2019 Corolla with 140,000 hard miles on it, frustrated that it idled rough and hesitated every time the light turned green. His fuel habit told the whole story. Years of grabbing whatever was cheapest along his route, mostly one chain that has never been top-tier certified. The intake valves were glazed in carbon. Getting them properly cleaned ran him $284, money he'd have kept if the detergent levels had been doing their job the whole time. Circle K is convenient, and it's on nearly every corner, but it has never carried the top-tier badge, and convenient and certified are not the same thing. Number 7. 7-Eleven. I've pulled intake components off more high-mileage commuters than I can count, and the pattern is almost boring at this point. The engines run on a steady diet of bargain corner store fuel show heavier varnish on the valves than the ones run on certified gas at the exact same mileage. 7-Eleven moves an enormous amount of gasoline in this country, and it is not a top-tier licensed brand. Cheap and close to home is precisely how the deposits sneak up on you, one quick splash and go at a time. Number 6. Casey's. Casey's is the beating heart of small-town America, often the only hot pizza and the only fuel pump for 30 miles in any direction. Ask yourself how many tanks you've pulled there out of pure convenience, never once wondering what was actually going into your engine. Casey's General Stores is not a top-tier licensed brand. Out in a small town, it might be the only game around, and that's life. But when a certified option is within reach, your engine would happily take the few extra minutes to get there. Number 5. Sheetz. A building contractor outside Pittsburgh rolled in with a 2018 F-150, 128,000 miles on the clock, convinced the stumble he felt under load was a transmission about to let go. It wasn't the transmission at all. It was a fuel system glazed with deposits from years of topping off at whatever sat closest to the job site. Getting it cleaned out and breathing right again ran him $376. A whole lot cheaper than the rebuild he'd been losing sleep over. Sheetz is a beloved name all across the Mid-Atlantic, and it isn't on the top tier list. Beloved and certified are two very different things. Number 4. Wawa. Picture two Honda Accords, both 2017, both sitting right around 110,000 miles, both driven by people who fuel up on the very same commute. One of them sticks to a certified brand. The other grabs whatever gets them back on the road fastest. Pull the intake on each and the certified one comes out visibly cleaner. Same car, same stretch of highway, different pump. Wawa inspires real devotion up and down the East Coast, and like the rest of this list, it has never carried the top-tier certification. Quick reminder, if this is already saving you money at the pump, take 1 second and hit that subscribe button. It's how we keep these coming. Number 3. Quick Trip. Across the upper Midwest, Quick Trip is practically a religion, and I'll hand it to them. The stores are spotless and folks are fiercely loyal, but in 22 years of reading valves, I can promise you loyalty has never once scrubbed carbon off an intake. And Quick Trip is not a top-tier licensed brand. Hold on to that because we're closing in on number 1, the single busiest stop you pull into on every long drive, and the reason it never earned the badge is going to stick with you. Number 2, Love's Travel Stops. A retired teacher driving 2 states over to see her grandkids brought me a 2020 CR-V that started running rough about halfway through every road trip she took. She'd been refueling at the big travel plazas the entire way, the ones stacked off every interstate exit, never once imagining the fuel itself was the variable. Getting her intake cleaned and her fuel trims pulled back into line cost $231, and I told her exactly what I'm about to tell you. Love's is one of the giants of the interstate, and it isn't top-tier certified, yet it isn't even the busiest name out there. The one waiting at number 1 moves more road trip fuel than almost anybody, and that's precisely what makes it worth knowing. Number 1, Pilot Flying J. Here it is, the name I promised you all the way back at the start. Pilot Flying J runs one of the largest highway fueling networks in North America, the row of pumps you coast into on practically every cross-country drive without a second thought. And it is not a top-tier licensed brand. Think back to that AAA research from the top of this video, 19 times more deposits on the non-certified fuel. Consumer Reports dug into the same testing and reported that certified gasoline cut intake valve deposits by as much as 72% over just a few thousand miles. That's the gap you're driving straight through every time you fill up on a long haul and never stop to check the badge. Here's why a road trip is the worst possible place to roll those dice. You're not burning 1 tank, you're burning 8, 10, a dozen of them back to back, all the way across the country, a whole vacation's worth of fuel pushed through your engine in a single week. I've seen the bill waiting at the other end of that. A set of fouled injectors on a modern direct injection engine can run $493 to put right, and that's before anyone so much as touches the valves. But here's the part that should actually settle your nerves, because I'm not going to leave you white-knuckling every exit sign for the rest of your life. There are 5 brands that take all of this guessing off the table completely. Every one of them is top-tier certified, every grade and every pump. Find one of these on your route and you never have to think about it again. The first is Chevron. Chevron has carried the certification for years, and its Techron additive is the quiet gold standard mechanics actually recommend to each other off the clock. If there's one ahead of you, that's your stop. Next is Shell. Shell is certified across every grade, and it's one of the most widely available certified brands in the country, which makes it the easy default on a road trip. You'll spot one at nearly every major interchange. Then, you've got Exxon and Mobil. Both are certified, both are everywhere, and their Synergy fuel meets the standard at every pump, so wherever either sign lights up, your engine is covered. Fourth is Costco. Remember number 11? This is the other half of that story. Costco's Kirkland Signature Fuel is top-tier certified and routinely among the cheapest gas in town. Certified and inexpensive, almost never share a pump, but here they do. And rounding it out is Marathon. Marathon is certified and planted all across the middle of the country, right where the big coastal names start to thin out. A mail carrier I've known for years runs nothing but certified fuel in her 2013 Camry, and she just rolled past 312,000 miles on the original engine, still firing up clean every single morning. That isn't luck. That's 1,000 small certified tanks quietly doing their job year after year. So the rule is simple, and it costs you absolutely nothing extra. Glance for the top tier name, lean on those 5 whenever you can, and stop feeding your engine fuel you have no way to verify. If you want to know the next thing quietly draining your wallet, that so-called lifetime fluid, the dealer swears you'll never have to change. The single myth killing more transmissions than anything else on the road. Click the video on the left. I'll show you exactly what they're not telling you, and I'll see you there.